Booyaka shot. Booyaka shot. Cheer. Robbin, can't you see? Sometimes these mocks just hypnotize me, and I just love your flashy pics. Guess that's why they lose and you win chips. In this episode, we will be conducting a 12-team mock draft on ESPN for points leagues. So if you're watching this show right now, or you're hearing the sound of my voice, you are watching the uncut version of this episode. We film every week live at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the Believe Network, powered by FanDuel. And we're doing that every single week. But what I do is I run the live stream, and then I make some slight edits, and then I publish the episode on our podcast, our audio podcast network, Believe, and also on our YouTube channel. But after about a week, I always share the uncut version if you want to see it. But if you want to get this episode later on tonight or something like that, it will not be available in this form. So I would recommend strongly, if you are watching on YouTube, to grab the URL. If you're on Twitter, it will not be available on Twitter. Just hang out with me and chill. First up, before we get into the value of the mock draft, I want to give a shout out to all of the folks who are participating. I got my man Francisco, my man Izai. I hope I said your name right, my guy. My homie Trap. We got Ray. We got Sam. We got Angelo. We got No Face. We got Jarito. We got Joey, who is a regular. We got Dane. And, of course, we got my man JK. The draft is going to be opening up in about 5 minutes. But while we do that, I want to talk to you guys about a little bit of housekeeping. If you are checking in live, make sure that you are active in the actual chat. I will share the comments on stage. You know, I'll let them run up as we're going through the live stream. So if you have commentary on any of the picks, or if you just have disagreement on a pick or something like that, we love to get your feedback. It was Isaiah, actually, not my apologies, my guy. My apologies. I said Isaiah's name wrong. My apologies. So we'll pull the comments on stage, all of that good stuff. I do my best to manage producing the show, hosting the show, and also participating in the mock draft. It is a lot, but it's a lot of fun. And I've been doing it for a while, so I kind of have a rhythm to it. This is our 5th year of the season, so we're really excited about everything that's happening, the community continuing to grow, and folks checking in for some fantasy basketball. Again, about 4 minutes before we open up the mock draft and get into the value. Before I talk about that, I want to tell you guys about our biggest giveaway ever. We're giving away a $100 Amazon gift card this season. We are also giving away a bunch of NBA rookie cards, including a Anthony Edwards rookie card, which will be given away this year. An Evan Mobley rated rookie card. We're giving that one away as well, right? Also going to be giving away a LaMelo Ball rookie card, right? And then we're going to be giving away a Tyrese Maxey rookie card. All of these are ungraded raw cards. Last but not least, we're going to be giving away this beautiful Tyrese Halliburton rated rookie card. So we also have some graded cards that we want to give away. One of these, we have a Cade Cunningham rookie card, which is the one that people are really excited about. This is a PSA 9 Cade Cunningham rookie card, right? Then we have a Tyler Hero PSA 10. We have a Jordan Poole. This one is really beautiful, a purple shock rookie card, PSA 9. And then last but not least, we have a Josh Okogie, which is not that exciting, but it is an autographed signature rookie card from Josh Okogie. So one of those cards are going to get given away. Right now, we have a survey on our YouTube page. So if you want to participate on what card you want us to give away, that's fine. We're calling it the mystery card, but folks want that Cade card, and that's the one that will likely go out. All right, 2 minutes in, I want to make sure that we have our technical stuff all settled. So I'm going to be jumping into the draft room in a couple of minutes. If you guys have not already subscribed to the channel, it's not something we say enough here because we're so busy giving out value. But I wanted to mention to you, we would love and appreciate if you would take time to support the channel by liking and subscribing. If you hear the sound of his voice, if you're watching a replay of this episode, it would mean a lot to us if you in fact took time to like and subscribe. We find that about 40% of the people that don't that listen and or watch our content on YouTube do not subscribe to the channel. So we want to make sure that you guys um do that. It really means a lot to us and goes a long way. Also, we'll be debuting a few new sound effects tonight, so please look out for that. That's going to be really fun. I got those joints in a bag and we are ready to roll with that as well. So seconds away from this thing popping off, I'm going to give you guys a preview of one of the new sounds we dropped. Huh? You hear me? Huh? Big shout out my man Jahan. Let's get it, yo. We are 1 minute before kickoff. This is wild, yo. I am super grateful, honored, and just excited about this freaking points league mock draft about to go down. Last thing before we go into the value. Last season, I was on a bit of a running journey where I was sharing that with the audience that I was going running and stuff. I switched that to playing basketball, and then I had an injury with my hamstring. So I might go to walking and running real soon. I'll be giving you guys an update on that in the very, very near future. All right, let's get into it. All right, 34 seconds. Boy, this is exciting. We know who's going to be going off the board early. The exciting part is what's happening in those middle rounds. Those later rounds, you can swing for the fences, and we see a lot of interesting things happening in these mock drafts. It's a great learning opportunity, a great way to stretch, kind of get loose, see what people are doing, and of course, we know that there's not enough points league content on the internet, so we do our best to provide that here and Believe in Fantasy. We also have analysts who've come in this year to support us with category leagues content, so you will be getting that as well. But as you know, I am an absolute points league sicko, and I am happy to serve. I'm happy to serve. Okay, let's get into it. All right, beautiful. So the draft is about to start. I'm going to go into the board mode here. We are 1 minute in. And again, once the draft starts, we're going to jump right into the value. Like we ain't playing no games. Again, we greatly appreciate if you are tuning in live, if you check in with us and let us know what you think about the picks. You know, any commentary you have, we would love to share that on screen for you as well. Rock and roll status, and wherever you checking in from, if you could also let us know that, that would be great. Have a quick sip of my drink before we start this value, and we're gonna get into it. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. So here we are in the draft room. We are just seconds away from this thing kicking off, or should I say tipping off. Any way you look at it, we know how the first round looks for those first 5 picks. After pick 5, things get interesting. So we are interested to see what's going to happen. Let's get it rolling. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. So Francisco's off the board, Joker early. We already know that is not a shocking thing. Then we have Wemby. Then we have SGA. Now, what we're seeing a lot is people kind of going back and forth between Wemby and SGA at that 2-3. We're seeing a lot of that. So this is pretty consistent to what we've been seeing in mock drafts. Last season, SGA averaged 32.7 points per game, 5 rebounds, 6.4 assists, 1.7 steals. I mean, come on, man. It makes sense. It makes sense. At number 4, we got Giannis. At number 5, we got Luka. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Where will people go in these next few rounds? I'm up soon, so I got to lock in. So give me a second. I'm looking at Anthony Edwards here. I'm looking at Sabonis here for a points league. Looks great. I'm looking at Karl Anthony Towns here. There's a lot of interesting things happening. I have no interest in Jalen Brunson. I have no interest in LeBron James at this point. Definitely no interest in these projections are crazy. So I will not be doing any of that. I haven't drafted much Karl Anthony Towns. I'm interested in Karl Anthony Towns here. Also interested in James Harden. I've drafted a bunch of James Harden. I want to see what happens here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab myself some Karl Anthony Towns. And I'm confident that Harden will not make it back to me on the turn. I don't think Trae Young will make it back to me on the turn. So the next player I would probably be looking at is a Steph Curry, perhaps, if he's still on the board. So let's get back to the recap really quick before my next pick. So we had, after Luka, we had at the 1-6, Anthony Davis. At the 1-7, Cade Cunningham. At the 1-8, Anthony Edwards. At the 1-9, DeMontis Sabonis. At the 1-10, I grabbed Karl Anthony Towns. At the 1-11, we had Tyrese Maxey. Then at the 1-12, we have Trae Young. And now at the 2-1, we got my man JK up. JK is probably looking at Harden here, LeBron. KD is still out here. We also have Banchero, Booker, Barnes, Mitchell, just a lot of different options here in this second round as we approach this second round. It looks like we have some picks. So I'm up. It looks like Harden is still on the board. So I will grab Harden on the turn. Also interested in KD here, but I can't say no to Harden. I believe for points leagues, Harden will be a first-round player. I think he will finish in the first round. So I'm going to grab Harden here, even though I could have grabbed him with that 10th pick as well, right? But let's get back to the recap quickly. So after Trae Young, we have LeBron, father of time, James, a.k.a. the Vampire. At the 2-2, we got Devin Booker. Love that pick. At the 2-3, James Harden. I grabbed him at the 2-3. At the 2-4, we got Jalen Brunson. Not as high on Jalen Brunson as I was last year. Specifically, one thing that I'm really taking into consideration with all of the Knicks players is that we have a new coach in town, right? And the Tom Thibodeau system philosophy was really to run players until the cartilage on their bones disintegrated, right? Many have credited him with the erosion of Derrick Rose's body over the years. And the list just goes on and on of players getting run to the ground. Now, he had some success in New York over the last few years. So I wasn't one that was rooting for him to get moved, to get fired or whatever it is. But I would say that there's going to be a change in terms of the way the minutes are distributed. So Josh Hart being as high as he is, Jalen Brunson being as high as he is, and even Karl Anthony Towns to some extent. But what I would say about Cat is that Cat doesn't need the minutes to be obscene for him to produce, right? So throughout his career, with the exception of those few years with Rudy Gobert, he's proven to be like a 25-10 type of player. And he could continue to do that because he's still pretty young. And I think he can sustain some of that prime Cat value. Let's get back to the recap really quick. Now, after Jalen Brunson, we have Paolo Banchero at the 2-5. I'm not mad at that pick for a points league. Definitely for a category league, would not like to see him that high, but this is in fact an ESPN points league draft. At the 2-6, my man, KD. KD has a new love interest. I don't know if you've seen that on the internet. It is blowing up. At the 2-7, Jalen Williams. Not mad at that. At the 2-8, Steph Curry. That is some value. Value bomb. Value bomb. Get down. Get down. Amen. Pray to heaven. Thompson at the 2-9. Then we got De'Aaron Fox at the 2-10. Let's go. Then we got Alperen, the Goon, Şengün at the 2-11. At the 2-12, Evan Mobley. And then Francisco has back-to-back picks here. So let's see what he does. It looks like he's going to clean up. And he grabs Jalen Johnson. Oh, Jalen Johnson falling to the third round. That is a value bomb if I ever heard one. But we just did a value bomb. So we're going to do a power up. Power up. Franz Wagner at the 3-2. Pascal Siakam at the 3-3. Now, Pascal Siakam was actually going off of the board in the middle of the second round early in this early mock draft season. And now to see him kind of stabilize in that third round territory is quite interesting. Last season, Pascal Siakam finished with averaging 20.2 points per game, 6.9 rebounds, 3.4 assists, and a little less than a block a game, a steal a game. My apologies. So yeah, I mean, I'm not crazy about Pascal, but in the third round, I might have to take a look at that. At the 3-4, we got your men's in him, Josh, the Gidla, Giddy at the 3-4. Then at the 3-5, Donovan Mitchell. What? Don Mitchell goes in a points league in the third round? That's crazy. I'm not mad at that. That is value. Who is that? Sam Smart team. You daggone Skippy Chippy. Your team is smart. Then at the 3-8, I think this is value too. Scotty Barnes drops to the 3-8. I'm up. Lock in. This might be a panic pick. Oh, am I taking Cooper Flag? Am I taking Cooper Flag right now? It feels, it smells like it might be a Cooper Flag. My third round pick, he won't come back on the turn. I have to do this. I must. I will. I am. Cooper Flag. Come on home, baby. I'll take it. Come on, man. I think I drafted Cooper Flag once this mock draft season. Let's make it twice. Let's get back to the recap. After Scotty Barnes, we have Ja with the blicky on the live stream in the Club Morant at the 3-7. Then we got my man Chet Holmgren at the 3-8. People are not as high on Chet Holmgren as I would like to see, but this looks like a favorable pick. 3-8, I'm not mad at it. At the 3-9, we got your man's in him, DeMar. Not like us, DeRozan. You a fan. At the 3-10, I grabbed King Cooper Flag. I got a pick coming up, so let me lock in. So in the turn, I'm looking at, man, I might do this. I haven't done this yet, but I might do it, y'all. I might do it. I don't have any injury-prone players. Do I have any injury-prone players on my team? Can somebody help me? James Harden, he's pretty solid. Flag, Towns, Let's do it. LaMelo Ball. Ballin', we ride. It's like showbiz. Ballin' on ride. You ride, and you know this. Ballin'. Yo, I came up. I did it. I grabbed LaMelo Ball. Now, if he plays 50 games, I'll be happy. If he play a hot 50, I would be happy. Let me get back to the recap. After Cooper Flag, King Cooper Flag at the 3-10, we have Jaylen Brown at the 3-11. Bam, at a bio at the 3-12. At the 4-1, Tyler Hero De Niro. At the 4-2, we got Zubats. At the 4-3, we got LaMelo. Ballin', we ride. At the 4-4, we got Nikola Vucevic. Oh, man, at the 4-5, I love this pick. At the 4-5, we have Dyson, the Merchant of Theft, Daniels, a.k.a. the Burglar. At the 4-6, now this is a player I was looking at in that third round. I was looking at him, and I was looking at him here in this fourth round when I grabbed LaMelo. At the 4-6, we had Zion Williamson. And this is why Zion is interesting to me, right? So last season, there's always like question marks swirling around Zion. Like people are like weight shaming him. It's like his health. He only played 30 games last year. But we know that when Zion Williamson is healthy on a per game basis, he is one of the most solid fantasy basketball producers that you would get. And for a points league, it just works out like peanut butter and jelly, having him on your roster. Last season on a per game basis, he averaged 24.6 points per game, 7.2 rebounds, 5.3 assists. It's just solid, man. The issue is the games played. He only played 30 games last year. He will have very versatile player eligibility status. He'll be able to play a bunch of positions. So if he's healthy, it's a nice risk. I wouldn't draft him having a player like LaMelo on my team. You want to be careful with that because of his injury history. And Anthony Davis on my team, I'm not also trying to have Zion Williamson. But if I have pretty healthy or historically healthy players on my team, Zion is definitely taking him in this area. I think is a great move, and it's worth the risk, in my opinion. After Jaren Jackson, after Zion Williamson, we have Jaren Jackson Jr. at the 4-7, and then we got another injury-prone guy that I'm coming around on, man. If you've been an old-time supporter of the show, you know we don't mess with this guy. But this season, I'm interested. I'm checking for him. At the 4-8, we have Kawhi, busted thigh Leonard. At the 4-9, we got Zach Watcherback Levine. At the 4-10, Josh Hart. That is way too high for me on Josh Hart, especially with all of the question marks surrounding what's going to happen with the Knicks and their minutes and their distribution. At the 4-11, we got Jimmy, $100 cup of coffee, Butler. At the 4-12, we got Denny, a.k.a. Baby Jordan Avdia. Yes, I said it. Denny, Baby Jordan Avdia. And I don't know what he's going to do this season, but he made an impression on the fantasy basketball world last year. And I think, where there's smoke, there's fire. I don't know if it's a fourth-round fire, huh? Like, what? Like, I don't know if I would do that, but definitely interested to see what happens. At the 5-1, at the top of the fifth, we got Desmond. Bring the pain, Bane. And then I'm going to go take a look what's left over here because I'm up with my 5th-round pick. So I'm looking at, I'm okay with Jalen Green here. I'm okay with Trey Murphy III here. I'm okay with Franz Wagner here. Not Franz Wagner, my apologies. Jakob Poeltl here. Don't know about Brandon Ingram. Have some concerns, and also have some concerns about Norman Powell. So I'm looking at even Mikal Bridges. I'd be open to that. Brandon Miller, I might like more, but I already have LaMelo. I'm not really into the stacking. Don't know what's up with that, but I think I would be okay with a bit of a little stack here. Right? Um, let's do it. I'm high on Brandon Miller, and that's one thing too. And this is something that we talk about a lot on the channel. Is like stacking is really not a fantasy basketball thing, right? Where with football, fantasy football, it's a total thing, like having a quarterback and a wide receiver. What I would say to having multiple players from the same team, especially if you are new to fantasy basketball, don't go crazy with it. 2, okay. I've seen people do 3, maybe if they're really good players, but I wouldn't go beyond that. Like 2 is kind of my limit. So here with a player like LaMelo, I think what you're doing is you're putting yourself in a position, if in fact he gets injured, which he's known to do, then you have a player on his team that could increase in value. So I think it's an interesting move, and I wouldn't be against it in a real life draft as well. So after let me do my next pick before I go into the next recap here. So interested in grabbing a big here. I'm okay with Miles Turner. Walker the Stalker, I don't know. I think I'm not as high on him as I once was. Miles, I'm okay with that. I think I would be fine with grabbing Miles Turner right there, right there. So let's go ahead and get into this recap. After Desmond bring the pain Bane at the 5-1, we have Joel Embiid at the 5-2. Now listen, if you're going to draft Joel Embiid, you got to get him at a value. And in the 5th round, for me, this is fine. This is fine. This works for me. What you risk is having a 5th round value sitting most of the season. That could happen with any player, y'all. What? Any player could turn around and 1 minute, the top is off, boobies is out, hair blowing in the wind. Next day, hot dog water with the brat worst residue. It's just like that. These are the things that happen in fantasy sports. People get injured. But if he hits, if Joel Embiid hits at the 5th round, you will likely have first round value for a 5th round price. And that for me is worth the risk, especially if you don't have any of those historically injured players on your team. After Joel Embiid, we got Jamal Murray, Rudy Gobert, Jared Allen, Miles Bridges, Derek White, Kristaps Porzingis at the 5'8", Jalen Green, love that pick. At the 5'10", Brandon Miller, Jalen Duren. Oh, I love Jalen Duren. I love Jalen Duren. At the 5'12", Trey Murphy III. At the 6'1", Austin Reeves. 6'2", Julius Randle. I grabbed Miles Turner. Mikal Bridges at the 6'4". I think that's value. Darius Garland at the 6'5". If he's healthy, it looks good to me. 6'6", OG Anunoby. Yes. 6'7", Brandon Ingram. I need to see it to believe it, but if he plays, it will pay. At the 6'8", Michael Porter Jr. I don't know if you guys have been seeing what's happening with Michael Porter Jr. Look at me, Lord. I'm doing a lot of Michael Jordan today. Listen, I don't know if you guys have seen what's been happening with your man, Michael Porter Jr. Like, it's wild. If you haven't checked it out, go YouTube search Michael Porter Jr. interviews. Your man is out here wilding. He's talking about his brother's gambling addiction. He's talking about his addiction to women. He's talking about Andrew Tate and all kinds of stuff. I'm just like, dude, where's this guy been? I guess when he was playing for the Nuggets, like they didn't give him the opportunity to do stuff like that, but he is wild for the night. Let's get back to the recap. After Michael Porter Jr. at the 6'8", we got Kobe White at the 6'9", Walker, the stalker, Kessler at the 6'10", Jordan, leave the kids at the pool with the baddies at the 6'11", at the 6'12", Peyton Pritchard. That is early. That is early for Peyton Pritchard. That's early. I don't know. At the 7'1", we got Jaden Ivey. At the 7'2", RJ Barrett. At the 7'3", DeJounte Murray. I have concerns about DeJounte. I just don't want to do it, man. I don't know. There's too many question marks. DeAndre Ayton, on the other hand, I think is getting overlooked. And I love that he's going off boards a little higher. At the 7'4", DeAndre Ayton. At the 7'5", another player I have a lot of concerns about. Not interested in really drafting him. And I need to see what happens. At the 7'5", we got Robbin Marx. Then at the 7'6", my man Angelo is picking, and he's taking his sweet time. I would note that we haven't had one auto draft pick yet. We are in the 7th round, people. This is beautiful. Mark Williams off the board at the 7'6". Let me go ahead and cue some people up. So Fred VanVleet still here. I think this is value for Freddie. Jakob Poeltl, I'm open to. John Collins, interested in that. Cam Thomas, I don't know where he's going to play, what's happening with him, so I'm not messing with that at all. Isaiah Hartenstein, I am. Jalen Suggs, I'm interested in that guy. Cue him up. Let's go. Keontae George, Ace Bailey, I have some interest. What else we got here? Brandon Pajimski, I have some interest. Let's go. Up. Let me go back to the list. Who we got here? So it looks like Hartenstein is my preferred pick. I would be open to Norman Powell, but I think it's not going to be the same system as it was for him last year. So I don't know if he'll produce on that level. McCollum is too old, and I'm not going to talk about PG until somebody drafts him. I'm going to grab Hartenstein here. I'm okay with that. I'm totally fine with that. But I'm going to go ahead and continue on my queuing up journey here. Let me see if they grab my man yet. Has he been grabbed yet? Cool. He hasn't been grabbed yet. So that's cool. I might grab that guy on the turn. I'll say his name out loud. Maybe. Nah, I don't think I'll grab him that early. The guy I'm talking about is Kyrie Irving. I see people grabbing Kyrie wild early. I think 9th, 10th. Am I tripping? Let me know in the comments because I'm not quite there yet. Then we got Ariane says, would you draft Tatum? Absolutely not. I don't want to draft Tatum. I don't want nothing to do with Tatum. I don't think that's sensible. So still queuing people up here. Bradley Beal, I have some interest in as well. Asar Thompson, I have some interest in. I think he's going to have a leap this year as well. And getting him down in these later rounds, I think is going to be tons of value. So let me lock in on my pick. This is not sexy at all. This is not sexy at all. At all, at all, at all, man. I know who I'm picking, but it's not sexy, man. I don't know, man. Should I just do what I gotta do? Should I just do what I gotta do? Because I don't think the player I want is gonna be around later. I'm gonna go early, man. If this guy's still here, I'm gonna just go early. I'm going early on my task. I'm sorry. I'm going early on my task. I'm sorry. No, I think I got him in the ninth round, back into the ninth round a couple of drafts ago. I seen him go in the 10th, but I'm seeing him go earlier and earlier. I just gotta do it. I just gotta do it. I'm sorry. Okay. Um, yeah. So Arian is asking about Jason Tatum. Guys, Jason Tatum, Tyrese Halliburton, stay away from these guys. Don't accidentally pick them. Don't pick them on purpose. There is no hope unless you are doing a startup dynasty league. Do not draft these guys, right? Kyrie Irving, he might have an opportunity to play. So I would be open to drafting Kyrie maybe in the 10th round. I've seen him go as early as the 7th or 8th. I'm not doing that because I feel like that's too much for me to pay for a player that's not going to be playing for me half the year. So I'm not about to invest in what might be from Kyrie at that round. 10th, 11th, I'm swinging for the fences that in that part of the draft anyway. So that makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. Okay. So really quick reminder, guys, if you guys are new to the channel, it's really important that we have folks understand that we have a community that we support fantasy basketball players, and what we do is absolutely free. All you have to do is visit believeinfantasy.com and it will grant you access to our free Discord channel. If you want to mock draft with us, if you have questions that you need answered, all of that can happen within the community. And one more thing, I will be responding to every single comment on this episode. So if you have questions about fantasy basketball or life, just drop them and we will do our best to answer them. Let's get back to this recap. After, man, I'm behind, huh? Geez Louise, how many rounds did we do? After marketing, we have Williams, Pirtle, Van Vliet, Collins. I grabbed Hartenstein. This is the back of the 7th round. Simons, Cameron Johnson, Asar Thompson at the top of the 8th. Brown, Christian, that is. Matas Buzelis, a little early, I think, but I'm okay with that. Emmanuel quickly at the 8-4. Aaron Gordon. Cam Thomas with no team at the 8-6. I mean, it's interesting because where he lands, he might perform, but if he lands in a space where there's not a runway for opportunity, it's too much of a risk in the 8th round. So I would stay away from Cam Thomas. Maybe in the 11th, I would take him. I'm not taking that risk. It's just a little too risky for my budget. CJ McCollum at the 8-7, it's too old for my budget. Norman Powell at the 8-8, Benedict Mathurin at the 8-9. That's early for Mathurin. Not mad at it though. Dan Gafford at the 8-10. Ace Bailey. I think this is our first rookie sighting after Flag. Oh, baby. And then we got Kyrie off the board at the 8-12. Monk at the 9-1. Nimhard at the 9-2. Westbrook at the 9-3. Another player with no team. Not doing that. Love this pick. Alex Sarr at the 9-4. Value bomb. Jalen Suggs at the 9-6. And then I'm going to get in this player pool and queue up a few more people. I love that people are passing on Paul George. Now, I am completely all the way out on Paul George unless he drops and drops and drops. And, you know, I usually do like a don't draft these players kind of a list. And sometimes I'm in a draft, said don't draft him, but he's going in the last round. I have to, you know, and this is not the place where I would draft him, though. I just wouldn't do it to myself. Keontae George, on the other hand, I have interest. I want to see what he does. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. seems like I might need to focus on some wing players just to fill some positions here. So I would likely be looking there. There's a couple of rookies that I'd be open to grabbing in this place or in this spot, but not sure if I'm going to do that. Not sure if I'm going to do that. So let me cue some folks up. So not really interested. I have some interest in Grady Dick. I have some interest in Grady Dick. Am I gonna do it though? I don't know. Are you gonna do it? No, I don't think so. I think I'll grab Beal. Not quite ready to grab Dick. Sometimes words just hit different. Sometimes they just hit different. Okay, let's get back to the recap. After Sar, we had Claxton, Suggs, Wiggins, McDaniels, Reed. I grabbed George. Khalil Ware. Oh, I love that pick. That's early for Ware, but I love it. I'm not mad at that at all. At the 9-12, we got Castle. At the top of the 10th, we got Kamara, Green, Draymond, that is. I grabbed Bradley Beal at the 10-3. I think Bradley Beal in the 10th round is fine. I'll take it. Onyeka Okongwu at the 10-4. VJ Edgecombe. That's the shooting guard I was thinking about. But, it is what it is. We don't know what's going to happen. But I would be open to drafting him in this area. Paul George, on the other hand, I would not be okay with drafting in most spots. In the 10th round, this is something you got to just start looking at. That's lots of value. But again, I would not advise it. I'm not messing with that dude this year. Just my position. At the 10-7, we got Kevin Porter Jr. The 10-8, Brandon Pajemski. Woo! Who grabbed Huff? Who is that? Ray. I see you. My man Ray grabs Jay Huff. Yes. Man, that's good. I love that pick. Man, I love it. Tobias Harris at the 10-10. Scoot the Boot. Henderson at the 10-11. Igor Demon. Okay. At the 10-12. Donovan Clingan at the 11-1. And we are winding down, folks. We have not had an auto draft pick yet. It seems like guys are going offline and then they come right back. They must be like on a TikTok and then they bounce back. Yo, this draft room is lit. My man Brett in the building. What up, Brett? You already know, my guy. We out here. After Donovan Clingan, we have Con Knipple, Bobby Portis, Shaden Sharp, Quentin Grimes. And I'm going to go ahead and jump into this player pool and see if I can queue up a few players. Looking at, have some interest in Jared McCain because I think it's something that's worth exploring there. Also, some interest in Walter Clayton Jr. Again, something that's worth exploring for me. Chris Paul, I just can't say no to him. I'm old school at that. I'm open to that. Is Dick still here? Looks like Grady Dick is still around. Jeez Louise. Walter Clayton Jr., Dick. Oh my gosh. Is Isaiah Collier still here? Let's see if Collier is still here. Is he still here? He's still around. Let's grab Clayton Jr. And if you didn't know, guys, I am high on Walter Clayton Jr. Why? First of all, he reminds me so much of Jalen Brunson. I've been on the record talking about this. Jalen Brunson with the chip on his shoulder, going later in the draft, winning 2 championships in college. All of these things. Walter Clayton Jr. is a champion. He's going to be in a system where, yes, there are other members of the backcourt. It's a little busy there with Keontae George, with Isaiah Collier, but he has proven to be a champion. And whether he's coming off the bench or he gets a starting role somewhere down the line, I'm really interested to see what he does. Okay, so I'm up again soon. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at some more players to queue up. Not interested in Kuminga at all. Klay Thompson, not really interested at all. Jared McCain, I'm going to cue him up. I have some interest there. Reed Shepard, I have some interest in, but I've had interest in that guy, and it hasn't come to fruition. Zachary Ricochet, not mad at that. What else do we got? Derek Queen. Is Kalkbrenner still on the board? Let's see if Kalkbrenner's still around here, because I might just grab him because he won't fall. He won't fall. He's going. If I can grab him in the 12th, I have to, because he was going. No one was drafting him before, and I recently saw an article. I think it was from RotoWire about the rookies that are being drafted, and he's one of them. And I don't know if our numbers from our mock drafts have anything to do with it, but we have been drafting him crazy over at the Believe in Fantasy Basketball channel. Let's see what we got. We got a question from Brett. Brett says, I got a question for you real quick. In a 20-team dynasty league, who wins this trade? Or Towns where Kuminga for Paolo Rui. Towns where Kuminga for Paolo Rui. I think it's a lot for Paolo and Rui. I want to say the Towns where Kuminga side wins long-term for 20-team dynasty. I do think it's a lot to pay for Paolo and Rui. I think that you could work out a deal for Towns and Paolo and have some secondary, maybe even third pieces. But Rui doesn't really shout value to me. And Kuminga, although there are question marks around him now, once he starts playing for Dynasty, I think he'll have value. And I think Ware has so much upside that I just think it's a little too much to pay for Paolo. So I would go Town side on that one. Great question. JK says, I took the D. Hey, yo, that's hilarious. So I'm assuming he grabbed Grady Dick. That is so good. That is so good. Oh my goodness. All right. So let's get back to this recap as we wind down. Wind down. After Quentin Grimes, we have Sexton, Whitmore, Cam, that is, Keegan Murray, Aldama, Clayton Jr., Dylan Harper, Jones, Dick, Grady, that is, Drew Holiday, Ryan Kalkbrenner at the 12-3, Paul, Chris, that is, Zachary Ricochet, TJ McConnell, Trey Johnson. Oh my God, I love that pick. That's good. Trey Johnson, can't lose with that one. Cannot lose with that one. Then we got Kyle Filipowski. Man, that's a good one too. Isaiah Collier, Jonas Valanciunas, Jared McCain, Kuminga, Koulibaly, Desumnu, Vassell, Russell, Jabari Smith Jr., Bub Carrington. Love that one too. I'm going to be up soon. I need to go ahead and figure something out for my last pick. Jeremy Sohan is around. Grant Williams is around. I'm going to swing for the fences, though. Let's see what we got here. Oh, I've been grabbing you, Baselli, with that last pick. Y'all know I love you, Baselli. Let me see if it's something else out here. Jovic. Oh, Colin Murray Boyles. Oh, yes. I have not drafted any Colin Murray Boyles. I will do it. I will do it. I will do it. Okay. Now, let me get back to the recap. After Bub Carrington, we have Scottie Pippen Jr., PJ Washington, Jeremiah Fears, Colin Murray Boyles, Tyus Jones, and then with the final pick, with not one auto draft pick, we'll have to get back to it because I have to give you guys a recap of my team. I apologize about that. Let's get into it. So it is tradition here, I Believe in Fantasy Basketball, for me to give an honest review of the team that I drafted. We use the world famous 5 GOAT rating. So a 1 to 5 GOATs, 5 being the best and 1 being slightly hot dog waterish. And I don't give a shih tzu puppy. I always keep it honest, y'all. Always keep it honest. Here we go. First pick, Karl Anthony Towns. Yes. James Harden. Yes. Cooper Flag. Yes. LaMelo Ball at the 4. Yes, this is a great start to a draft. I am very happy. Next, Brandon Miller. Yes. Miles Turner. Yes. Isaiah Hartenstein. Yes. Matas Buzelis, I think it's a little early, but I'm okay with that. Yes. Keontae George, maybe. Bradley Beal, maybe. Walter Clayton Jr., maybe. Just because I got to see. Ryan Kalkbrenner, maybe. And then Colin Murray Boyles, maybe. A few maybes, a few yeses. Overall, I think this is a really solid draft. I'm going to give myself 4 out of 5 GOAT rating. And that last player, by the way, was PJ Washington. Now that you know who to grab at the 10th position, check out this episode to see who you should draft at the 11th position. Cut, and it's a wrap. If you are seeing this or hearing this, you are watching the live uncut version of the daggone episode. We just wrapped it up. My man Nitro says, is Matas worth picking up? I dropped VJ Edgecombe. I wouldn't drop VJ. Is there someone else that you can drop? I don't know if I would drop him, but I think Matas is worth picking up. Who else can you drop? Any chance you can put up the draft board in the Discord? Isaiah, thank you for the reminder. I'm going to do a screenshot of that right now and put it up in the Discord. Listen, folks, I got to go edit this daggone video, all of that good stuff. Wanted to give you guys a friendly reminder. If you are watching the live stream, if you're watching the replay of the live stream, we are giving away a bunch of stuff. All you have to do is join the community and fill out a short survey. We want to make sure you can get access to that. And don't forget, play the waivers, set your lineups, and believe in fantasy. Peace.